Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. This is Bart coming to you with a blind quick hitter. Again, if you want to send me samples that can be included in this, put a label on it, put your name on it, all the information for the whiskey, and it will go on my shelf to be included in these blind quick hitters. I do not know what they are. Play with your whiskey. However, this, I'm combining a story as well. We're focusing on 2020, late December, right before Christmas. I like to reflect on the year. 2020 has been a thumbs down year. However, there's always the good moments within, the bad, the trying, the traumatic, the sad. This is a first. It's a, so we're in the midst of the pandemic. And then the riots begin. And it's right in the area where I work. And it's technically June 2nd because it's like 4 in the morning. But, you know, there was kind of a peaceful protest. But you can see peaceful protesters leaving when automatic gunfire starts happening. Pretty easy to spot. And you end up left with a core group of mean, angry, probably intoxicated folks. Just guessing. But there's destruction happening. There's danger to life happening. And at that point I get the order along with several other folks to move in and try to peacefully end this gathering. But we're used to kind of doing this. We've got a big, imagine like a Wichita version of like a Mardi Gras. It's just one day and it's a street party. And back in the day, it used to get a little wild when I was younger, and we would go out and clear this crowd and let them know many times the party's over, and then we would clear the street. And a lot of times people would line up just to watch the clearing of the street. So that's what we tried to do. But we were greeted with about 15 minutes of rocks and bottles and you name it, it was thrown at us. And then the weird, scary part was these race cars that were dragging in the middle of an intersection would kind of drive toward us at a high speed and then lock up the brakes and then spin and smoke the tires. And then there's the occasional gunshot, but you can, when a round is fired, you can tell it's a gun, but it's up into the air. It just echoes differently. But it's concerning because you can't really tell where it's coming from. And you know there's folks that maybe aren't in the right frame of mind with firearms. And you stand out and you're packed together in a crowd called police. So it's concerning. Not to mention, I've never taken rocks, bottles, and bricks for 15 minutes before. And hello. Not to mention, least you forget I'm 6'6", and I'm right behind about 3 of my people that I'm controlling, and they're much shorter than I. And at one point I asked them to move their clear plexiglass shields up so I had some protection, and one of my guys told me in no uncertain terms that would expose my groin. Not what he said. And I thought, yeah, you're front row. You're not exposing the groin. So I went into this deep crouch, like a yoga crouch. And about 15 minutes in, I could barely hold it anymore. But you don't want to pop your head up and take one in the noggin or in the Adam's apple. I said noggin, but touched the Adam's. You don't want to take a rock in the throat. That's bad. So I stayed low. And my guys right in front of me took some rocks that broke visors and all kinds of stuff. It was interesting. Then we got some support, and we moved forward, and we got a little bit farther, I think 2 blocks, and then we got shot at for real. And you can tell the difference because you get a zip, zip, and you can hear the change, whoop, whoop, and ricochets, and a couple people got minor wounds, nothing serious. And that was the beginning of June 2nd. The end of June 2nd was a little rough too, but let's see what's in the glass, because that's also what this is about. Peated notes, but light. I didn't see it. I could see the bottle. Earthy clay, so it's not a heavy peat smoke, but it's definitely this earthy, maybe it's not quite peat even. What is that? I think it is peat though. It's like a subtle smoke or earth. Whoa. Boy, is that giving you. What is that? I get a little bit of like a Oloroso sherry twang. But I feel like it's wrapped in a Islay earthiness, not quite peat, but an Islay earthiness. So again, I feel like I'm picking up some Oloroso, so I'm calling it a Scotch. Something's funky, but I feel like I'm getting that Oloroso, like a twang. Yeah, and then I get a little oak in there in the finish. The malted barley is there. There's still something I can't quite peg. Some kitchen spice. Where is it? All right. And then we'll come back to being shot at. Now I'm on island. It's a Bowmore. Bowmore 15-year. Okay, the Feis Ile collection 2019. Well, there's the earthiness. Matured exclusively in first fill ex-Bourbon, which should have given me a lot of vanilla flavors. I don't know why I'm just getting some kind of Oloroso. 51.7% ABV. Again, whiskey dong, also known as Dawn, from Denver, Colorado, or Colorado area. Wow, the Bowmore 15. So that is an Islay. It's their Feis Ile 2019. He went there, if I remember right, he and his wife. Matured exclusively in first fill ex-Bourbon. Nice. Again, here's the problem. After you know the name, now I want to say, yeah, I get some vanilla notes. I still get that earthiness. I don't get what I would typically call a bunch of heavy peat. I don't get that. Interesting, but this is why I do it. Nice. Great one. This is a nice Bowmore. Very interesting. All right, so coming back. So I will tell you, I've been on the department, 25, 26 years, and I've never been actively shot at where you can hear the round and then it changes pitch. It's like a twing and it changes. Never saw muzzle flash. Usually you'll see muzzle flash, you at least know where you're getting fired at from. Didn't see that. It was about 8 rounds and it was over. And we still tried to use some cover, but the first 8 were popped so fast there wasn't really much movement. It's kind of what happens. Pop, 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 and you're like, okay, just got shot at. Interesting. Everybody's checking themselves, and everybody was mostly fine. Still quite interesting. Quite interesting. And the rest, or the evening of June 2nd, was interesting as well. Kind of more of the same, but a little bit different. So it won't be in a separate story or anything. But, yeah, the folks protesting surely didn't care about the pandemic or the masks. So, all right, Bowmore, Feis Ile 2019, great year. Thank you, Dawn. And sorry I didn't do a better job of picking it, but not bad. I picked up some of the earthiness, but I did not think it was an Islay. One more sip. Seems like an Islay now. I like the earthiness, a little touch of clay. And again, now I say I can see the vanilla. Being in a first fill ex-Bourbon, awesome, awesome. 15 years in it even. Scotch It, you Scotch gods. We had one guy literally like patting himself. I'm like, I think you would know. No need to check. Red? No. All right. See you guys. Bye.